Hey YouTube, it's Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It is going to be called 3 Reasons Why Big Knives Don't Suck. Now, there will also be a follow-up video on 3 reasons why big knives do suck. But right now, I'm going to go through my opinions of why big knives don't suck. And to get this started, let's start off with number 1. Number 1, they are capable. Now, a big knife can do anything a small knife can do, but a small knife can't do everything a big knife can do. And that comes down to capability, because with a big knife like this, if you have a lanyard, you can choke up, and it's not the most comfortable thing. It's not going to do everything a small knife does easily, but it is possible. And this is a bad example because this is a freaking huge knife. But let's say something more like this Trailmaster. If you had a freaking if you had a lanyard on there, you can get in there and do some fine work. And actually, it's not even so heavy to where you could just literally just hold this thing and slice. It is not perfect, but no knife is perfect. There is no one knife for everything. I discussed that in my video yesterday. But there is knives that are more capable, and large knives, in my opinion, are more capable. With a big knife, you're able to chop, you're able to slice, you're able to do batoning, you're able to do all kinds of things that smaller knives, some can do, but they struggle with, just because length is a huge issue when it comes to like a lot of camp chores, especially the harder ones. Number 2, strength. You can't compare the strength of a large fixed blade to a folder. I don't even care how strong your folder is. It is never going to be as strong as a good solid fixed blade, a good solid large fixed blade. These knives, like this Sword right here, and this Trailmaster, are big, fat chunks of steel. You're gonna have a hell of a time breaking these. Everything here except for this jugless is a 1/4 inch or bigger. This one's 3/16. Still a very, very strong knife. And the strength that you get with these versus like an SE3, for example. 1/8 inch thick stock, 3.5 inch blade, roughly. It's a good knife, but it is not as capable as its big brother. There's just no way around it. All these knives can do everything this knife can do and more, but this knife can't do everything these knives can do. I mean, chop, it ain't gonna happen. So yeah, capability, strength, and number 3, cool factor. There's just something cool, and this is all a matter of perspective, and I completely understand that, and to each their own. Some people just don't like big knives. In my perspective, big knives are cool. I've always had a fascination with them. I've always wanted them. I've always wanted them bigger. I mean, like, if I could change anything about these knives, man, I would take this Trailmaster and I would add 2 inches to it and maybe make it fatter. The Trailmaster with a blade like this jungless, but 1/3 of an inch thick, 3V, that would be a force to be reckoned with. And it's not even like this Trailmaster doesn't have the most comfortable handle. It's kind of broomsticky, but I tell you what, this thing's a chopping beast. And yeah, I mean, I always want them bigger. Bigger is better, but not like Sword, and I want something just big and chunky, like a competition chopper. I was thinking about that. A company needs to come out, and I don't care if you steal my idea, take it, make it, and I'll buy it. Make the competition chopper. Make a freaking competition chopper. Similar specs, but instead of that 10-inch blade that they allow you, throw in like a freaking 12 or 13-inch blade on there, but all the other same things. Nice big handle, nice big long blade. Give me something to go out into the freaking woods with and just destroy things. Not many production companies make those, and I don't know why, and I really want them. Unless you want to go to freaking get a Nepalese kukri or something like that. And you know what? I've never found their handles to be attractive. I do not like the way a Nepalese kukri handle feels. It's just not comfortable to me, but to each their own. And that's why I don't own one, because I don't want to spend that money on something that it doesn't work for me. But, you know, like this guy right here. If you took this knife with a, what do we got, a 10-inch blade? Put a 13, 14-inch blade on this. Give me 1/4 inch or thicker stock. God, we'd be talking full flat grind or a full convex grind or something like that. You know, the closest I've seen production knife wise is like the Bark River Bravo 3. But yeah, I mean, this is where I bought this. That's why I bought this Ford, because it is a massive chunk of carbon steel with a massive blade. I mean, it's the same size as this freaking Essie here, from tip to handle. It's actually, honestly, a tad longer. But look at that. That's a chunker, and I still want it bigger. And that just comes down to the cool factor. Now, would it be something you would want to drag around with you all day? Probably not. It is probably going to be so damn heavy. It's a boat anchor, but who cares? But anyways, capable, strong, and cool factor. And we didn't even talk about sheaths yet. Once you get into these bigger knives, you get to get these cool sheaths. This is the one for this Boker Arbolito El Gigante. It's just a beautiful package. And, you know, same thing with like the Essie Junglist. This is a big ass, cool, well-made Kydex sheath. Yeah, you get cool sheaths for little knives too, don't get me wrong. But I mean, something just screams, it just screams authority when you bring something like this out. You know, you go camping with somebody who's not a big camper and he brings his little bitty pocket knife out to do something, and you walk out with something like this, it's gonna scream authority. It's gonna scream, I drive a big truck and have a small peepee, but I don't care, because it's still badass. But anyways, capable, strong, cool. Stay tuned. We're gonna do 3 reasons why big knives do suck eventually. But anyways, thanks for watching.